This is BTV Business Television.
Welcome to BTV Business Television. I'm Jessica Kachachak.
And I'm Taylor Tone. Well, Jessica, there are many who believe that North America has seen a generation of underinvestment when it comes to the resource sector.
That's true. But fortunately, we're starting to see efforts to address vulnerabilities in supply chains, changing trade policies, and environmental practices related to foreign resource development.
And with change can come big-time opportunities for investors.
The Western world, the UK and the United States, they are going to continue to have trouble accessing fuel for their reactors.
We're looking for the big assets that will change the global supply chains for these metals.
We've identified a path that allows us to get into production faster than almost any other developer out there.
Plus, powering a cleaner tomorrow
with innovative fuel delivery systems.
The same system can run compressed natural gas, liquid natural gas, methanes. It can run hydrogen.
Well, Taylor, North America is at an inflection point.
Well, and as we're about to see, investors have a lot to be excited about. The U.S. produces less than 1% of the world's uranium, but operates close to 25% of its nuclear reactors. And the fact that much of the uranium the U.S. needs is controlled by Russia only complicates the issue. However, a long-term solution may lie in Canada.
The Western world, the UK and the United States, they are going to continue to have trouble accessing fuel for their reactors. So it really does leave Canada as the primary source of uranium moving forward.
With uranium demand rising and supply tightening, the companies with the best land packages, strong funding, and experienced teams are best positioned to capitalize on this opportunity.
We operate in the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan. That's where all of Canada's uranium comes from. The uniqueness of that area comes from its ore grade, and not just its ore grade, which tends to be like 100 times higher than anywhere else in the world. It's rather a freak show in that regard, but it's also the prevalence.
Purepoint Uranium has spent years building one of the strongest exploration portfolios in the Athabasca Basin. But what makes it stand out? A proven ability to secure industry-backed partnerships, reducing shareholder dilution while staying in control of high-potential projects.
Purepoint is a very well-experienced and established explorer of uranium in northern Saskatchewan. Purepoint has partnerships with some of the leading uranium companies in the world, being Cameco, Orano, IsoEnergy, Foran Mining is another partner of ours. We continue to have joint ventures on our best projects that are being financially supported by these large companies, that are being technically supported, and they validate the underlying value of these projects.
Exploring for uranium is costly, but Purepoint's joint venture ensures ongoing exploration without overburdening shareholders.
Developing and producing uranium in the basin is a very expensive proposition, and it's highly regulated, it's very capital intensive, and we know that we have partners that have done it before and know what they're doing. Now we've got 6 projects that are in joint venture. Well, because we've been operating in northern Saskatchewan for so long, we've had an opportunity to really cull down the projects that we own. We've had our pick at many times throughout history, and we've been able to gather together what we think is a pretty strong portfolio, which again is validated by our partners. But all of our projects are on trend and adjacent to major uranium discoveries of the past.
For Purepoint, the process of continuous drilling is more of a marathon than a sprint.
We're here for the long haul. We are going to be here this year, next year, and the year after, and have the opportunity to find not just one, but many discoveries in the world's most rich uranium district.
With strong partnerships, prime land positions, and an active exploration program, Purepoint Uranium is well positioned for the next big discovery.
If you're nervous about the froth on the beer over in the market, come over to a safer sector that has real things, not vaporware, not complex chips that are subject to tariffs on China and all these kind of things. Obviously gold, obviously silver, look at copper, there are many others. If you are producing, you are making money. If you're not making money, my question is, why not?
With a market cap of over $150 billion, BHP is Australia's #1 company by revenue. It's also the world's largest mining company. And they've recently noticed a junior explorer, Viridian Metals, who caught their eye with 2 copper projects in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Viridian Metals is an early-stage explorer looking for critical metals deposits in Newfoundland and Labrador. We're not looking for small assets that we can shoehorn into getting into production. We're looking for the big assets that will change the global supply chains for these metals.
Copper and energy go hand in hand. If the future requires more energy, then it requires more copper.
We're really focused on copper. The profile for the needs of copper in the next 30 years is huge. One of the things that really stands out about the Seal Basin is just the level of mineralization that we see at surface than anywhere else in Canada.
Viridian, along with the help of BHP's cash infusion and technical expertise, think they can fill the need with 2 large projects, one securing Newfoundland's largest copper basin, and a second with the most advanced Voisey Bay target outside the Voisey Bay mine.
We got out of the helicopter on the first visit, and it was 10 centimeters thick, 5-meter long plates of native copper, which was just not reflected in the government data for this asset. And considering our project's road accessible and 2,600 square kilometers, this is a unique opportunity to really be a first mover in a large copper basin, and we've really secured the entire thing.
Viridian is continuing exploration, and with copper showing so close to surface, they feel they're close to a substantial discovery.
When we return, momentum continues to grow at Prime Mining's flagship project in Mexico.
We're looking forward to a high-margin, low-capital, quick payback project.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
Since taking over the Los Reyes project in 2019, Prime Mining has almost tripled their initial resource. In 2025, they plan to continue adding to the resource ahead of their first preliminary economic assessment.
Prime Mining is solely focused on its Los Reyes project, which is a high-grade gold, silver, virtually a pure precious metals deposit in the Sierra Madre Occidental Range in Mexico. We're looking forward to a high-margin, low-capital, quick payback project that we're looking to prove to the market through a PEA in the very near future. The resource is pretty exciting because it's almost pure precious metals. So when we talk gold equivalent, we're not including base metals such as lead, zinc, or copper. We are talking pure precious metals.
The future looks brighter as the Los Reyes project continues to see an increase of gold and silver to its overall resource.
Prime Mining Corp has a multi-million ounce gold-silver resource that continues to grow and grow very quickly. The Los Reyes project has had an excellent trajectory on exploration growth. When the company was founded and purchased in 2019, the company quickly put out about a 1.1 million gold equivalent ounce resource. Since then, we've grown to several million gold equivalent ounces in our October 15th, our most recent update. In that update, we included heap leach and mill processing, but we also focused on underground as well as open pit. So not only have we grown the resource, but we've really emphasized the quality.
Prime Mining is excited both by the quality of the precious metals resource and also the company's proximity to producing their first preliminary economic assessment, all based on their extensive preliminary mining engineering work.
Prime has accomplished well over 200 bottle roll tests on the metallurgical side. That puts us almost at a pre-feasibility study level for metallurgical test work. Unlike a lot of other junior gold explorers at this stage of project development, we actually have a very robust technical background from which we can start our preliminary economic assessment.
Looking ahead, Prime thinks 2025 will be a crucial year in continuing to define the resource and hopes to expand on the successes of last year.
In 2025, we look to continue to grow that resource using that success-based drilling program across the 3 main trends, as well as generative targets that were just recently included in our latest resource statement. But there's also significant discovery potential on the property. We're on the cusp of producing a preliminary economic assessment, and we look forward to being able to more openly communicate with the market a low capex, quick payback, high margin operation here at Los Reyes.
Much of their team lives in the surrounding community, and Prime Mining is proud of their support for the region's communities, schools, and infrastructure.
Big things are happening at Orvana Minerals, a junior producer with a clear strategy for growth.
Orvana is an operating mining company. The purpose of the company is mining gold, silver, and copper. This is a company with 4 million ounces plus of resources, operating in Spain, constructing a project in Bolivia, and exploring in Argentina. Orvana is a 50,000 ounce producer who is going to move up to a 100,000 ounce producer gold by the end of 2025. On top of that, we are exploring in Argentina with very high expectations of new findings in the next 24 months. It's a junior producer with a clear strategy. We always have a long-term view. We do have a pipeline of projects, operating, constructing, and exploring, always, and we are delivering on that.
Orvana is currently working to optimize its operations and reduce its operating costs through organic growth in and around its existing properties.
Up next, we'll explore some exciting developments in the effort to advance new North American sources of lithium.
The Shakajuanan project is actually the America's largest hard rock lithium project, approximately 140 million tons in resource.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
Next, time to take a look at the state of the world's lithium market. Today, we're joined by Joel Jackson of BMO. Joel, what are your thoughts on lithium prices?
Thinking about lithium prices, we're bullish, maybe more bullish than most of the market these days. I mean, we're modeling prices rise about $10,000 a ton spot to about $18,000 a ton spot over the next few years. Now that's because we think that demand is strong from EVs and ESS, so storage, and we think it's going to, overwhelm supply, and we'll get a good price response.
So how would you say China is influencing the production of lithium?
What we are seeing is the question of China. Although China does not control most of the feedstock, so the mine, what's produced at mines, it does control the vast majority of downstream conversion or chemical processing. So a lot of questions about, how much of conversion and chemical processing does the industry want to be contained inside China versus having more options and more flexibility outside of that country.
Thanks, Joel.
With critical minerals like lithium in hot demand and uncertainty around global supply chains growing, new homegrown solutions are at a premium. One company is primed to make a difference: Patriot Battery Metals.
Western markets have to look at diversification, and that's why local mining, local chemical initiatives, local cell manufacturing is going to be an important part of the future growth of the industry if we really want to diversify our interests away from China and the extent to which they dominate the industry today. To achieve that aim, you need big projects to help underwrite those investments, and that's why the Shakajuanan project is going to be a really important part of the future supply chain for lithium-ion battery growth.
The project, which is expected to have a mine life of more than 20 years, has a number of highly desirable qualities.
What's really important about Patriot Battery Metals and our Shakajuanan project is the combination of scale, the grade, and the location of our hard rock lithium resource. The Shakajuanan project is actually the America's largest hard rock lithium project, approximately 140 million tons in resource. In addition to the lithium, we also have some fantastic byproduct credits. Lithium is often associated with tantalum and cesium, and it just so happens that at Shakajuanan we've got plenty of both.
In addition to being rich in resources, Patriot has been able to attract a key partner that will play a big role in the project's success.
We had the recent investment from Volkswagen Group. They're now a cornerstone shareholder in Patriot, and we have offtake for part of our project with their battery manufacturer being PowerCo. The combination of those things, I think, is a really good demonstration of the strength in our project. We believe Shakajuwanan is going to be a cornerstone project to the future growth in demand for lithium raw materials coming out of Europe and North America.
Patriot is in the process of conducting a feasibility study that is expected to be completed by the end of Q3 of this year.
Mayfair Gold is under new ownership, with bold new ideas on how to advance a Sven Gibb property in Timmins, Ontario. Now speed is the name of the game.
We've identified a path that allows us to get into production faster than almost any other developer out there. The federal permitting process in Canada, it's quite lengthy and burdensome. So really what we'd like to do is try and get this into production by going through the provincial permitting process first. So we're designing a mine below the federal threshold, which is 5,000 tons per day. You bring the mine into production at 4,800 tons per day. You operate the mine at that capacity. You generate free cash flow.
Mayfair's Start Small approach offers a number of key benefits.
It's lower risk. It allows us to go through a quicker permitting timeline, and it allows us to get into production during this gold cycle, which is imperative. This is a generational opportunity in the gold market. And the best way to actually take advantage of that is to be able to be in production.
All this opportunity comes with a unique vision for what the company can be.
We have a plan of creating a new kind of gold company that can attract different kinds of investors. Investors buy gold mining companies because they want leverage and exposure to gold. We're going to create a company that's a bit of a hybrid. It's going to be like an ETF. We're going to have some gold holdings. We're going to use our production to grow that gold holdings. So that gives you a component where you're going to be building up your leverage over time. Plus, you're going to be generating cash flow that you can then use to grow your gold production and continue to grow your gold holdings over time.
If all goes according to plan, Mayfair could be one of Canada's next gold producers in as little as 5 years.
When we come back, we'll look at a breakthrough technology designed to keep carbon-based transportation sustainable and affordable.
The same system can run compressed natural gas, liquid natural gas, methanes. They can run hydrogen.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
The transportation sector accounts for over 20% of global CO2 emissions. With the world looking for effective solutions to reduce emissions, one company stands out: Westport Fuel Systems.
Westport is a clean transportation technology company that invents, designs, builds, and sells fuel systems that allow the transportation world to convert to natural gases. One of the great things about our systems is that they're fuel agnostic. The same system can run compressed natural gas, liquid natural gas, methanes. They can run hydrogen. The system is really in two parts. You've got an on-engine group of components, and then you have the off-engine. Off-engine is primarily storage for the fuels. The on-engine is where the magic happens, the high-pressure direct injection. All types of storage for these various gases requires controls and safety components. That's what our high-pressure components business does. We do hardware, we do software, we do integration. That's what we do.
Westport has been on this journey for over 30 years, which helps make them a leader in the field. The company is divided into two distinct entities.
Cespira is the joint venture that has the high-pressure direct injection technology, and Westport is the high-pressure controls and systems business. Between Cespira and Westport, we have over 1,400 patents. No matter which fuel you're in, your storage needs controls, it needs safeties, And that high-pressure business, high-pressure controls and systems business, we feel is a world leader in its technology, where we are the world leader.
Westport and Volvo have brought high-pressure direct injection to long-haul trucking, as battery systems don't effectively address weight-related challenges.
The moment you put an 8,000-pound battery on a truck, it's 8,000 pounds less carrying capacity. The economics just don't work. They have a bus division, they have a marine division, and this technology can be applied to all of those. Anything that has a diesel engine today can be converted to our fuel system for LNG.
Recently, Westport announced an agreement to divest the light-duty car segment. The sale will allow Westport to focus on their long-term business strategy.
We're seeing a pendulum swing just in the last 6 months, where the natural gas markets are going to become very, very important for our growth, and we're going to take advantage of that swing in the pendulum. Everybody's talking about hydrogen being a perfect solution down the road. The problem is it's down the road. Is it 10 years away? Is it 15 years away? Our system can run both. Everybody wants the green answer, but they also need to be affordable.
Westport believes it will continue to play a key role in helping to ensure that current-day transportation remains sustainable and affordable well into the future.
Not all financial advisors are created equal. If you're a high net worth investor, you might want to consider working with an advisor capable of addressing your particular needs.
As you move up the wealth curve, as you gain more wealth into your household, the complexity of your wealth picture expands dramatically. A lot of people don't realize this, but the number one cost for an ultra net worth investor is actually taxes, tax frictional costs. So as a wealth advisor that's catering to this particular segment, you have to be really hyper focused on trying to minimize their annual tax frictional costs. And ultimately, philanthropic planning, estate planning, insurance, investment portfolios, and access to exclusive investment opportunities. It's not an easy niche market to actually serve exceptionally well.
It's not the unipolar world of the last 30 years. It's a multipolar world, and you have to hedge your bets on that. And one of the primary places to hedge your bets is in your basic materials sector, from the ore in the ground to the mine, the mill, the refinery, the factory.
Well, Taylor, I think we can all agree on the pressing need to fast-track these North American projects.
Oh yeah, and you can bet that it's something that the smart investor will be paying close attention to.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today. For BTV, I'm Jessica Katrachak.
And I'm Taylor Tone. Well, hopefully today's show helped you discover some potential investment opportunities. And until next time, may your portfolio prosper.